Alrighty.
Ayo.
As soon as I start, Genie starts typing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. I forgot to mute. All right, let's just start fresh.
No, man, we're going.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Start fresh.
It's an awkward start.
All right, so a couple things we want to talk about. First off, the Travis Scott thing, because that was pretty crazy. Call of Duty Vanguard came out, and I've got some mixed feelings about it, but overall I enjoy it. So I want to talk about that.
Good.
And then what was the third thing? We want
to talk about Dune.
Dune, that's right. Because everybody here has finally seen Dune. So I guess we start with the Travis Scott thing.
Yeah, started off hot. Yeah.
Holy shit, man. What a shit show.
Fucking shit show.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of like the TikTok videos because I know there's a lot going around of like people like who are in the crowd and stuff. I haven't seen anything specifically of like.
I read a whole story of some girl that tried to get them to stop, literally climbed the ladder on the side of the stage.
I saw that video.
Told them there's people dying.
I saw the video.
She had made that same girl, I guess. I would imagine it was the same one. Had a whole message thing that she did in her notes on her phone, and then just posted the screenshots or whatever, explaining everything as she went through. And she was watching people drop around her like flies. Like she at one point went down, I think not all the way down, but she had like gotten to her knee, went to a knee or something like that. And the one guy that she was like next to, like kind of like smiled at her, but he was just like trying to breathe and laying on the ground, and just like he could tell that I guess she was maybe trying to help and make sure he was okay and all this and that. But it was just a nightmare. Like they couldn't do anything or get out.
The first part of it though is like what went wrong, right?
Well,
and I mean, the way that the venue is set up and everything, and security wasn't.
They were short-staffed on security.
Some people had walked off because they said that it was too dangerous and like they didn't want to be a part of it. Like they were like, "This is just like a disaster waiting to happen." So
they made the smart decision. It's probably people like me and my friends that have gone to 100+ concerts and different festivals. So it's you have to make that judgment. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that went were younger and may not have known. And if you're a kid as well, I mean, one of the youngest that died was 14.
Yeah.
If you're a kid, you're just, I want to see Travis Scott. He's one of my favorite artists. The last thing you think about is the fact that you could die at the concert.
Dude, and like he just I saw a clip where there was a few clips where like he noticed something was going wrong. At one point he finally stopped.
Just kept performing.
He stopped for a second and said something, and then he just kept singing. So like there's people just
he
literally
asked why they were telling him to stop.
There was people just
like,
literally
why are you
there
chanting to stop.
Literally they're dying, and the last thing they hear is Travis Scott going sicko mode. Like that's so shitty, dude. Like an artist that you came to see, you know, just
anybody that says that he couldn't see what was going on, that motherfucker had a bird's eye view in comparison to most people who are on stages and at a level. I mean, they're maybe a few feet higher up on a normal stage. He had a bird's eye view. He was up even higher. If you have to climb a fucking ladder to get to the stage, you're elevated. He's seen every fucking thing that was happening, especially the one video shows him up in the middle there at the top, and he looks, you can see him, he looks over, sees them picking up this like lifeless body. Dude's completely limp, and they're trying to do resuscitate him and everything, and he's up there doing the robot.
And there's some
dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
And there's some dude twerking on the ambulance. Like, holy shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh my god.
It was ridiculous, man.
It was just madness. But like, there's a whole idea, the fact of how much demonic based things that were happening there. So it's like there's a lot of correlation, and I'm sorry, like I'm not one for like a bunch of conspiracy stuff, but like when that shit's right in your face, and if you are religious and stuff like that, it's like a slap in the face, because it's like, dude, we see what you're doing. Like, it's whether people want to believe it or not and whatever, get into it, like it was there. Everything
my
was
whole
there.
2 cents on the whole demonic thing is I think people people would rather think that some kind of like evil was taking place there than the fact that people are just shitty human beings who don't care about anybody else, man.
Right. It's a mix of both things, though, because it's like
Travis Scott
he had everything set up,
and everybody else everybody that was there either really wanted to see Travis Scott, and that's all they cared about, and then Travis Scott was just there to perform. That's all he cared about, and that's what happens.
He cared about that and his money. He obviously doesn't care about his fans. I've been at multiple Machine Gun Kelly shows, as you guys know.
More than
watched
multiple.
him literally. Well, yeah, almost 30.
Take it a little lightly.
Almost 30. So I'm on my way. So my goal is 100 before he's done touring.
Jesus,
but that's a whole other story.
I have friends that
have already hit that.
Jesus, man, you call yourself a super fan? I'm just kidding.
I've had friends go on full tours.
That's crazy, bro.
We're getting sidetracked. I know it's nuts. We're getting sidetracked though. The fact is that at his own festival, at EST Fest, I literally went back, pulled the footage because I filmed the shows, went back, pulled the footage, brought it up and posted it online on Twitter and Facebook, and it kind of blew up a little bit, a couple thousand views, and was just saying, I said, Travis Scott, take notes, because this is what you should have did with your fans. And then everybody started posting, like, Post Malone's done this. Lil Pump's even fucking stopped his show. Okay, if Lil Pump can fucking stop his show, that says something. But Machine Gun Kelly literally will stop the show and get down into the crowd. And I heard Post Malone does this too. He got down into the crowd to help and do whatever. I literally have personally seen him in Cleveland pick up somebody who had a seizure in the crowd and carry them backstage so medical could look at them and make sure they were okay so they can enjoy the rest of the show once they came to.
Yeah.
Which they did. And it ended up being great.
And like
that's what you do.
There's people who are saying like, oh, well, he didn't know the extent of the situation. He didn't know people were dying.
Bullshit.
Bro, it doesn't matter. If you hear several people screaming help, stop the show, you stop and see what the fuck's going on. That's just being a decent human being.
Your fans are going to be the ones telling you to stop the show for any other reason than something's wrong?
Why would they want you to stop? They paid you to come sing. Like, that's what they're there for. And they're telling you to stop for a reason.
That's all I got to say, too, with that. He's an absolute fucking moron. And I hope everything that happens to him, I hope he gets canceled, honestly. I am not a huge one for cancel culture when it comes to certain things. This is a fucking full effect that cancel culture should have his ass. He's already been taken off all lineups for 2022, all festivals. Nobody wants him. Anything that he was booked the rest of 2021, gone. Nobody wants anything to do with him.
He took his Fortnite emote out of the game.
They're working on all the cosmetics, everything, taking that out. They're talking about taking his skin out and everything in Fortnite. Everything's gone. He's losing everything, which rightfully fucking so. You knew what you were doing. You've done enough fucking festivals, tours, concerts, everything to know that you didn't have the staff. You're well aware of all that shit as an artist. They're talking to you about it. You plan all this shit. You don't just show it's your fucking festival too. Your name is on this fucking thing. If this happened like at MGK's festival, EST Fest, holy fucking shit, dude. It'd be the same fucking thing. He'd be canceled too. Like, this is a whole, like, that's your festival. If it was everybody else, like, if it was a mixed festival, all these other artists, and it was put on by, like, let's just say, the Lollapalooza or whatever like that. If it was one of those shows or Rolling Loud, yeah, there's a lot of people at fault. The artists probably won't catch anything because it's really not on them. But this is your fucking festival, and you fucked up. Your management fucked up. Live Nation fucked up. Your security fucked up.
Holy F-bombs.
It's just, well, hey, it's how it is. Sorry. I get passionate about this shit because this is what I love to do. And now people are going to be scared to go to shows and stuff like that because of this scenario. I had already seen in my Ice 9 Kills group that somebody's scared to go to a show now because of what happened at Astroworld. It's, it's really messed up. It's not a good look for the whole scene and for these artists. And it's sad. They're probably not even going to have as many people come to shows now because of this.
So I'm going to be 100% honest. I had two thoughts when I saw this all go down. One, his apology was complete utter bullshit. Like, that guy,
garbage.
Like, the fact that he like the way he says everything. Stop interrupting me! God damn it! It's my turn to talk.
I was just saying, he might as well read from a teleprompter.
It literally looked like he got out of bed because, like, his PR agent told him he needed to say something.
Yep.
And he was exactly like, I mean, he never said sorry. He never said that like he should have stopped. Nothing. So it's not even an apology. No. And then,
but he'll cover your funeral costs. He did say that.
And then he threw a black and white filter on there, like that would make it more sincere.
Unreal, man.
So like he cared about how it looked. He just didn't care very much.
No, he didn't give a shit at all.
But my other thought was with the whole Rust shooting, you know, like that was kind of like the biggest entertainment tragedy in the news at the time. And over here in New Mexico, there was a lot of talk about like safety on the production sets over here and stuff like that, and it really kind of like shined some light on everything here and like raised some doubts with some of the studios. And so I was like, well, I hope that like, you know, that doesn't fuck things up here for the industry. And then this happened and it's like nobody's talking about the Rust thing anymore. So I was like, well, at least
like now it's all tuned to like the festivals and stuff. Now everybody's going to be scared. Oh, are we going to be okay? I mean, I don't know if you've seen a lot of these festival crowds. They're massive. 50,000 people easy, which is what this Astro World thing. I don't even know how the fuck he has that many fans, to be honest. I think he's had like 2 hits that I know of.
And like
Sicko Mode and fucking Antidote or whatever the fuck.
I had never heard of crowd crushing before, so I looked it up and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. And that's a terrible way to die.
Will they crush you at the edge of the stage?
No, it's like literally people are so packed and tight that the smaller people in the crowd are like being crushed and suffocated. Because everybody's
against
just,
other people standing?
Yes, because everybody's just smashing everybody together trying to push their way to the stage. And
the girl that made that,
venues are set up in a way that there's enough room so that won't happen. And so people got past the barriers and there was way too many people. And so they started crushing people in the middle of the crowd.
They were also rushing the stage too, though. They broke the barrier and were like jumping over each other and stampeding each other to get in. So it was just a constant flow of people. There was no control, no order.
The one thing that could have stopped it was Travis Scott could have stopped the show, and they could have stopped everything because of safety. And instead, he just kept playing.
And the police had declared it a medical scene where like it had to end. Took 40 fucking minutes from when the officer declared that for them to finally shut the show down, and they still did a firework finale too. 40 fucking minutes of people they couldn't even get medical to them. Like, imagine being at the very front, like and like that like where you couldn't even, it'd be so long to get to you.
Yeah.
It's just like, and they didn't have enough medical staff. That's another thing that the lady wrote on there. In her post is that wasn't enough medical staff. They're just understaffed entirely, which is clearly the problem in this country all around, all these businesses, everything. I'm sure every single industry is having an issue with staffing. But if you don't have proper staffing in that, especially security at a 50,000 person festival, you don't fucking do it, or you lessen how many people can come, or you reschedule.
You know, I've heard a
safety is number one.
I've heard a conspiracy theory going around about the whole now hiring stuff. That all these businesses that took loans to get through the pandemic, if they claim that they can't hire people, like they can get away with not paying that money back somehow or a portion of it. And so that's
everyone's hiring.
Interesting.
That's the thing is like people are saying like that they're submitting for all kinds of jobs and nobody's taking them, and it's almost like they're purposely not hiring people. So
I gotta fix this AC. I'll be right back.
All right. But it's like they're purposely not hiring people so that they can get forgiven for some of that money. Pretty shady. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's how it works. But I do definitely think it's very strange that like everywhere I go here, everybody has a now hiring sign, but like they're back to normal hours. Like they seem staffed well enough to me. I mean, they might not be. Like people might be getting a lot of overtime or something, but
either way, 80 hours a week.
It just seems like I like with unemployment having gone away for like as far as COVID being the reason for being unemployed.
Yeah, you can't gone away. COVID is a way. Mm-hmm.
So people have to start going back to work or else they can't pay their bills unless they saved up a bunch of money. But even then, like it only lasts so long. And it's been like a month and a half since they cut off unemployment altogether for COVID.
Yep.
And people are saying they can't hire people. Like it just doesn't. I think one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to have to raise the minimum wage, like nationwide, trying to get people to go back to work, which only leads to inflation, right? Like that's not a permanent fix. That just leads to problems down the road. It's like kicking the can down the road, right?
Yeah. Well, they're already trying to get it to $15 an hour anyway. That's already passed in most
Some
states.
Some states are still like $7-8, bro. I don't know how. It's ridiculous, man. Those are the really poor states. You know, like places that like most people don't find ideal for where they want to live. You know, like probably got shit internet and like everybody lives super far from each other, and you got to drive 20 minutes to get to the nearest grocery store and stuff like that. You know,
so my hometown, yeah,
basically. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how it all works out. Because the economy seems strong, but there's a lot of people saying that there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes in the economy that could lead to some kind of collapse soon. But the Dow Jones is at like an all-time high. I don't think next year is going to be
a good year.
You don't think so?
I've been saying that. No. I think a lot of shit's going to hit the fan.
I don't know though, man, because I know a lot of these economist type peoples who that talk about this stuff. They know that fear-mongering is going to lead to views. So you never know what to believe with these people, man. Like, the guys on the news are always talking about doomsday, the dollar's going to collapse and shit, you know, because that's what gets people to watch. So I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what the hell is going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, to give out that much money as a stimulus and then, like, not be able to get people to go back to work doesn't sound like a very good situation to me at all. You know, like it seems like it's only going to lead to major inflation.
Yeah, but also if we can't get people to like work and it's like doing like we were talking about last episode, the cargo ships and all that stuff, getting everything transported around so everybody can have supplies and that. I mean, the amount of stuff that we can't get here even in Florida is insane. I've been struggling to get fucking canned cat food.
Yeah,
like
homies really? Haven't eaten dry food.
Wow. I never thought I'd have to like worry about finding.
Your cat's like, bro, what the hell, man? Where's the good stuff?
He hates it too. He's very spoiled, so the canned cat food's huge for him. But it's just like one thing I never thought I'd have to really worry about.
Bro,
granted, there's obviously other options, but like that's just one example.
When I give my cat wet food, he gets the worst gas, dude. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
It's gas.
Yeah. Like, dude, people think dog farts are bad. Cat farts are way worse.
Cat farts are horrible.
Cat farts smell like death.
Yeah. Easily.
I had Chipotle today, and I always forget like what effect that has on my body.
What do you get? Like, what causes what do you think causes it? Do you get the hot salsa?
The Coke, dude. I just like fucking devour their Coke. It's so good.
Coke?
Their soda.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you think Coca-Cola gives you diarrhea?
Dude, something about like the taste of their Coke specifically. Coca-Cola. Sorry, I feel weird saying Coke.
I know. I was like, Genie's doing Coke at Chipotle?
Putting it on his fucking burrito.
Yeah.
All in it.
Wait, you guys don't have that?
Give me some of the sofritas, baby.
No, it's like something about the taste of their like the syrup I guess they have in their Coke is just like so good. I always get like a large drink and I get a refill. So it's like having two like full. I know it's like so bad for me. I'm just like addicted to it.
I don't get sodas anywhere except McDonald's.
Really?
Actually, I do get the Baja Blast Zero Sugar from Taco Bell every once in a while, but McDonald's, dude, they got that shit like to a science, bro.
Dude, their Sprite is crispy.
Dude, they
fucking crispy.
They pre-chill the syrup, and they actually they set up the water to syrup ratio to account for melted ice.
Jeez.
I'm telling you, dude, they got this shit down to a science. I do not like Diet Coke. Like, I think Diet Coke, like from a can, like it just tastes like chemicals to me. I don't like it at all. It doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste like it's good for me at all. But McDonald's Diet Coke, it's different, dude. Like literally, it's a different beast.
They do something to it.
Yeah, you know, it's
they put cocaine in it.
I want to cut back on the soda so badly because I know that's what everyone tells me is like the invisible enemy. Well, not invisible enemy, but yeah, it's huge. It's a big part of like the whole eating healthier thing. Just like do water instead.
Sparkling water.
I think that's how I've actually lost some of my weight. I'm down like 6 pounds now.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't been drinking soda really for any meal.
I drink sparkling water with my food.
Sparkling water. Wow.
Like bubbly.
Is it like LaCroix or?
It's kind of like LaCroix, but I think it has more flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called bubbly.
It's called bubbly. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, they have a caffeine version of bubbly where it has the same amount of caffeine as a soda, and for some reason it tastes better. Like I don't know what it is. It's like the bubbles.
Interesting.
The carbonation and like the little hint of caffeine bite to it. It just it's like my body knows, like, yeah, give me some of that caffeine, bitch.
I'm gonna try that actually. That actually sounds so cool.
Yeah, it's called what is it called? I can't remember. You'll see it though. Like you'll see regular bubbly, and then you see the one, and it's I can't remember. But it's got 35 milligrams of caffeine per can, which is like half a cup of coffee. But that's how much they put in like a Coke can. Like it's not much. It's like a little bump, you know. It's a little taste. But a lot of people, I feel like when they start drinking sparkling water instead of soda, they're like, "Oh, I don't like it, man. It doesn't taste good." Just stop being a bitch. You'll get used to it. It's like drinking. It's like drinking liquor. Eventually, you'll get used to it, and then you like it. I never got to that point with liquor,
or you just tolerate it.
That's what people tell me. They're like,
"No, liquor you just tolerate." And you become an alcoholic, and then you just tell yourself that it's fine.
You just pretend.
Nobody fucking actually likes. There's some liquor that is like, yeah, it tastes good. It's still fucking liquor and alcohol. It still sucks.
It still tastes like straight ethanol,
some does
right?
taste better than other. We had this. It's called Smoky something. It's I think made in Tennessee. We went to the distillery that was there, or whatever you want to call it, and it's a caramel whiskey. And maybe it's something else. It might just be caramel whiskey. And dude, I could drink that straight, no problem. Like, don't need anything with it. Just straight out the bottle. Cool. There's not many liquors that I can do that.
When I was in the military, I would see guys go to the bar and they would ask for like Sailor Jerry on the rocks or something like that, and they would take that first sip and they'd be like, God damn, bro. Like, yeah, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man.
Makes you feel it all the way into your soul.
It's
Sailor Jerry's.
It smells like some of the shit we use to clean the aircraft, man. Like that doesn't smell good to me. You know, like
brutal. Imagine what it does to your insides.
Yuck.
Bro, your liver's probably like, no, like
not the Sailor Jerry's.
Make it stop. Do we want to?
Brutal.
So Vanguard, man.
Yeah, Vanguard. I was gonna say, dude, like if you are a multiplayer type of player when it comes to Call of Duty, like it's got its normal like early launch bugs right now, where like there's little things that are just fucked up. Oh, yeah. I heard there's like a prestige bug right now, where like when you prestige, you can't see how much XP you need to get to the next level, so it's kind of like just annoying. You're like, oh, I guess I'll hit level 10 whenever I do, you know, like
yeah.
But there's definitely a bug where if you have like a party of people, like if you mute everybody in the lobby and then try to unmute them, sometimes you can't unmute them. Like it's stuck with them muted till you get back to the lobby after the match, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, we were having that issue yesterday.
But I think it's one of the most fleshed out multiplayers we've ever gotten. Like there's just so much to it, and like a lot of it feels like stuff that, like it's all grindy stuff. Like none of the stuff that you want is like easy to obtain. Like you really have to like grind to those higher levels for stuff, and there's so many attachments.
Giving us the best AR in the beginning, the STG.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Literally, it's like
there's definitely some broken guns.
Right.
There's one shotgun that's just stupid broken. It's like one shot. Like if you shoot somebody in the foot, it'll kill them. Like it's stupid.
Well, that one map we had the other day, or match or whatever, that guy just kept running around. It's like brain dead gameplay, dude. Like you literally just point click. It's
with
one
the riot
shot
shield
everything.
on his back, so you can't shoot him in the back while he's running
that
away.
That was a pain in the ass too. Yeah. I wish riot shields would forever just be taken out of the game. They should be. You use them in fucking Warzone, sure, whatever. Get them the fuck out of multiplayer.
Yeah. What like
just what the fuck?
I feel like they literally just put that in the game to piss people off.
Oh, 100%.
Because if you get
they know how annoying it is.
Yeah, if you get pissed off, then you're gonna want to like go after that guy even more. You know, you're like, dude, next time I see that motherfucker, you know, I'm shooting him. I'm shooting him in the legs. You know, like, but I am not gonna lie. I've been saying on TikTok, you know, like I only play video games when I'm streaming, but I've hopped on for an hour here and there this week, which is like the first time I've done that with a video game in a long time. So I am truly addicted to the multiplayer. Zombies is kind of, you can tell it's almost like Treyarch wanted it to fail. Like they don't want people to like it, so that they won't have to put effort into that and they can start focusing on their own game. I think they should make a full-on zombies game. Like, just come out with a zombies game.
Yeah.
Give people a break from the normal shit, you know?
Yep. Make it to where you can, there's an actual storyline, and then also make it to where you can just run wave after wave like normal. Make it 2 separet game modes. Boom,
like, combine the zombies mode and campaign.
Maybe only make the game $40, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it's not like a full-blown game. It's a branch off of another game where it already existed.
I guarantee you, like, that I see a lot of, I see way more pros to them doing that than cons from from a consumer standpoint. But
there's a huge zombies fan base out there for sure.
Yeah.
For Call of Duty zombies in particular. I mean,
the campaign campaign is one of the shortest Call of Duty campaigns I've ever seen. I played.
You said you're already halfway done. I was like, you streamed for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I was 2 hours in. I did a 3-hour stream, but I only played the campaign for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
and I was
already halfway through.
Yeah, there's like 9 levels, and they're all pretty long. Like that level, like it's not a traditional thing where it's like you get to a checkpoint, and then all of a sudden the next mission starts. You know, like it's 9 levels, but it looks so good, bro. It's such a good looking campaign. So good.
They always nail it. That's for sure.
Like it feels and looks like a movie. There? Yeah, it's kind of cliche, the story, but like the actual like action set pieces and everything are just like, I mean, it just doesn't get better than that, man. As far as like a shooter goes. And like, dude, I mean, just the way they've gotten fire to look in these games now is insane, man. It looks so badass.
That's what I noticed, that and like the way like their barrier destruction thing is, like when you're sprinting and you like through the wooden, like
shooting through those barriers and shooting through doors is something like they definitely like added that on top of like Modern Warfare's engine, right? Like because with Modern Warfare you can run into a door and it goes poof, just opens, right? That you could still do that, but like the map that we were playing yesterday, Kyle. Right when you start the match, if you're on one side, there's this set of double doors, and everybody rushes those doors. So I just, as soon as the game starts, I run over and just start spraying through the door, and I kill like 2 or 3 people every time, man. Like, and the doors, there's just shrapnel, like wood chips flying everywhere. Dude, it looks so badass.
Dope. That's so dope.
They definitely killed it with that. You can literally shred the doors to the point where they're gone. Like it's pretty sick. I'm really happy with multiplayer.
I did like Doc's little video that he did though the other day. He's like, go, 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 go. And it's just him running into multiplayer over and over. It didn't matter if he was getting kills or not.
Yeah,
he's like,
oh my God.
He said on Twitter, he's like, my take on Vanguard or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's true though, because dude, that's all people do. I was telling Danny, it's like we were playing like even before, not even when we got into Search and Destroy, it's like these kids do fucking lines of G Fuel and they're full tilt the whole fucking time and just like full pressed on being like absolutely insane. And there's me, the casual player that's like been playing COD for over a decade. I'm just like,
I'm the type of guy that just kind of like, I always have like it'll say time near allies whenever because it gives you a little MVP title, and I always have like the most time near allies because I just like spawn and I walk over and I'm just like, I bet somebody's gonna come through here, and sure enough, some dumbass just comes running in full tilt and I just shoot him. And then another one comes, and like it's like Call of Duty has come to that point where like everybody just runs into each other. There's like no strategy
not at all
to it whatsoever.
That's why Doc was saying just go because that's all it fucking is. Like
all you have to do is just take it slow, and they'll run right into you, and you can just be ready for them. You just spray them.
I've definitely learned.
I'm getting like 50 kills a match.
Yeah. Yep. Damn. If you play back half the time and just have them rush you, it's like easy kills because they're gonna come. Yeah. They have to come through any of the doors or the walkways.
I did all the throwing knife challenges, I think, and so now, unless they're gonna add more challenges later for prestige and stuff, but now the only thing I use is thermites, dude. Because it sticks to people really easy, and then these go dumbasses just run right into them and catch on fire, and then you just tap them once with your gun.
Yep.
Like put them out of their misery. Like they just come blinded. And dude, they made it, these like operator characters that you're playing as. They're like like just like everybody's just screaming everywhere, dude. And you're just like doo, 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 and they're just screaming.
Yeah, it was fun. Search was a lot of fun. I hadn't played Search in a long time, and I was having fun with that. It was a good group.
They're saying it's the smoothest like launch they've ever had. Like servers didn't go down.
Oh damn time.
Yeah, I know. You imagine that. Like they finally figured something out.
Yeah, only been doing this for over a decade. It's fine.
Now fix the fucking friends list, bro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Going on 2 years now, the friends list is broken. Like you delete somebody and the whole friends list just bugs out. You can't see anybody.
Oh, you're kidding.
And then I couldn't join his shit yesterday. It took collectively probably took us like 20 plus minutes.
No reason whatsoever why we shouldn't be able to see each other. It's so stupid.
Each other, boom, should be able to get him right away.
It's just shit coding for that friends list system, man.
It's something.
There's a lot of bugs in it.
It is a solid game, though. I'm glad I bought it. For sure. I was very hesitant. I was actually fully against buying it, honestly. And then I seen you playing it, and I seen a couple other people, like big streamers that were like enjoying it, and I'm like,
everybody's like, they're like, it's fun enough. I mean, I'll definitely like check back once like the new season comes. We'll have to talk about it again because I'm curious because there's always like a honeymoon period with every Call of Duty. But I'm telling you right now, when Cold War came out, I had fun playing multiplayer for like 2 days, and I was like, this shit is broken.
Yep.
Like literally I'll play like 2 or 3 matches, I'll be having fun, and then all of a sudden it's just like 4 matches of getting my dick smashed repeatedly by people who are way better than me because it is overcompensating. Dude, if you go play it now, it's nothing but it's nothing but sweats, man. Those are the only people that stuck around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Normally all the sweats move to the next game, I feel.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've been going against a lot of sweaty fucking people. Collectively, like with playing with you and then playing with my buddies the other day, I'm like, oh my god, man. That's what I was saying. Like everybody does lines of fucking G Fuel and just is full tilt the whole game. I'm like, damn, man.
Dude, but in Cold War, in Cold War, like I would play Search and Destroy, and like normally, like we were our teammates were like talking shit, joking around and stuff, right? Talking about going full tilt and doing lines of G Fuel, and like just having a good time. In Cold War, it would be like, all right, guys, let's do this. And then just dick smashed. And then all of a sudden, it's just dead quiet for the whole match. The match ends, and there's always one person, I think I'm going to get off. And it's just like, that was my experience with Cold War. Somebody was always like, I'm going to go play something else. This sucks. I'm not having fun.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah,
there's that sad voice, and then it's just like, it's someone speaks for the whole group where it's just like, fuck, man, I think I'm not having fun right now.
Dude, the trash talk, the trash talk is so good. Like you say one thing and somebody's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. I gotta, whoa.
we got that one guy
all I said was I unlocked a new attachment. God damn.
we got that Marlboro guy that was going up the ladder. I was like, and then the Phoebus guy caught him going up the ladder and killed him. I was like, oh, caught with your dicks in your hands. Or something. Like I said something stupid. Because I'm always like, that's what my go-to is. Like if somebody's reloading and they got their clip in their hand, I'm like, oh, caught with your dick in your hand. Boom, dead.
And like,
I always say, it's funny.
When after that round, he said something to that guy, the Marlboro man, right? That was his name.
Oh, and he
said something, and it was like dead quiet, and I was just like, shut up. And it's like, oh, like he got bad.
Then he's like, shut up, bitch, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Like he was joking around the last round, and then this round, he like it got to him. He got killed going up a ladder.
Yep. That was so funny. I was like, I knew as soon as Phoebus or whatever the hell the guy's name is came around, I'm like, oh, he's got him.
Yeah.
Easy. You can't do nothing when you're going up the ladder. It takes forever to get up them, and then when you do get up them, it takes forever to get your gun back out. I have noticed that. So that's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, Genie, you gotta get it so we can run some.
Vanguard. Oh man,
it's like all
it would be funny too running gameplay.
It's literally all I feel like playing right now. Okay. It's all I feel like playing right now.
Well, if I'll tell you what, because Battlefield comes out in 3 days, so
yeah,
I forgot about that.
I know. I mean, Thursday night.
When is that Hazard Zone mode going to be available right away?
Yeah. Everything's available right away. Portal, Hazard. It's amazing what they're not showing. Like that's why I was like so shocked by that beta being one game mode, one map. Dude, I'm like, in a month, we're having a whole horde, a stampede of things to mess around with.
And I think that's where Call of Duty beats Battlefield is like the amount of shit that you can unlock, the amount of customization they have now.
Yeah.
Like Battlefield it feels so dull. Like there's not you're not like when I was playing the beta, I was like, yeah, it's the beta, but I can't recall any other Battlefield game. Maybe Battlefield 1 I got into a little more than others. Like I can't recall ever feeling like I had to keep playing. Like I had to keep playing to unlock this next thing. And in Call of Duty it's just like camos. There's always something. Like I unlock this perk or something, and then it's like obviously you get to level 55 and then now you don't have anything to unlock. But I mean, camos are still like the biggest thing. Like I legit think this might be
to get atomic.
This might be the first one where I actually go for it, and I know it's gonna. And it might take me the whole entire life cycle of this game to do it, but I want it.
Damn. Well, okay, yeah. If it's good like that, I'm down to give it a shot. I'm willing to give Battlefield a clean slate on Thursday night because it's just I feel like they got that beta out and. The more because Janie, you kind of taught me to not just to admit that it's like, you know what, it was kind of like just a shitty beta, and I think that's where I'm at, where it's like it's a shitty beta, but I think they put it out because they promised a beta and they didn't want to look bad.
Yeah, they felt obligated to put something out there,
and they gave the barest minimum they could because there's just so much that they are promising with that portal thing, with Hazard Zone.
All I care about is Hazard Zone. I'm gonna be honest.
Sure, no, that's fair.
What I've been looking for is a Tarkov-like experience that isn't so like a less hardcore. Like turn down the hardcoreness. Like take it from 11 and put it down to like a 6 or a 7. So like it's grindy and like challenging. And when I lose my shit, like in game, I literally you lose your stuff. Like I want it to hurt, but I don't want it to be like I don't want it to feel like I have to play like 100 hours to even understand how to like heal. You know what I mean? Like I don't. There's just so much in Tarkov that you have to learn how to do and when to do it. That it's just like it discourages somebody like me who doesn't have the time to put so many hours into a game to play it. And so if they can manage to give it like a Call of Duty or like a Battlefield feel. But have that same kind of stakes where it's like, all right, you go in, you loot up, and you try to extract with like whatever these satellite things are in this one.
Yeah.
And then you can use that you can use that gear the next round, and like it's worth something. Like I'm curious to see if they have some kind of like thing where like you can trade stuff or like your loot is worth something, because that to me like makes it that much more addictive. Is like the stuff you're getting when you're looting is actually worth something, instead of oh, now I got this cool like mask that I can wear, and when I lose it, it's gone, like that's the only value to it. Then it's kind of like, I don't know. So I'm curious to see where they go with that, like how far they go with it. Because if it's, like I said, if it's anything like Tarkov, then I'll be excited to play that. But I don't know. The regular multiplayer just doesn't really grab me. You want to talk about Dude now?
Yeah. Are you gonna be playing it though? Battlefield on Thursday night?
Yeah, I'll play it
for the early release.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if so many friends that are ready for Battlefield, dude. They're more pumped for Battlefield than anything.
When does it come out? Like
Thursday night.
Like same time Call of Duty did?
9?
Like late? Yeah. So I'm gonna play it Friday. I'll play it Friday.
Okay. Yeah, it's other than 9 or midnight, but yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, if Hazard Zone isn't as like grindy as, or if it doesn't have what I'm expecting, then I think the game's just going to be a dud for me. To be honest.
What is Hazard Zone supposed to be?
You literally you have loot, or sorry, I think it starts like you have like base level shit, right? Like, and then you go into this map, and it's a huge ass map, like think Warzone like level big, and there's you can loot, take that gear with you when you like extract from the map, and the whole point is to find these satellites that have like data, and it's worth something, and it's something in game it's worth, and try to extract with that stuff, but people can kill you and take it and all that stuff. Kind of like
that's literally a ripoff of this game that I play already. It's called oh my gosh, the hell is it called? I can't look at it on my PC right now. Dang it!
There's several games like this. It's just considered like a hardcore survival experience.
Legit as fuck though. Like this is a really well done game, and it's still technically I think in beta.
What about Tarkov?
I can't remember what it's called. No.
Scum?
I can't remember what it's called. No. But it sounds like the way you're describing it sounds exactly like that game. I'm like, damn, that's like.
Yeah. But with like a Battlefield twist. I mean, dude, every game's a ripoff of something these days.
I know.
Is it Hunt like, Showdown?
No, not Hunt.
But what I was saying though is that I just if that's the mode that I'm banking on, like that they're like hiding it because it's like the card that they have up their sleeves to like really get everybody to want the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll report next week on whether Battlefield's worth it or not, I guess.
Yeah.
Nope. That'll be the move.
But Dune.
What'd you think, Kyle?
At first I didn't really understand it, and then it started to make more sense. And I guess I get it to an extent, but it's just like I don't know. It was a lot of, I don't know. It was a lot
of dialogue.
Yeah, a lot of dialogue. It was good, but it's just like I just definitely like just the first first movie of a whole series. I think I don't know if they're gonna just do. You think you said they were only doing 2 movies?
They're doing 2 movies for this book. Like this is literally just the first book, and there's 6. Yeah. There's 6 main books, I believe.
And the ending's like a major cliffhanger too. Like it's just like, yep, you gotta wait till the fucking second part.
Dude, like, and from what I've been told, like there's so much that happens in like the second half that like this is just the appetizer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they had to lead up and explain
how everything works in this world,
like storyline and how everything works. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I feel like a lot happened and a lot of like certain people died, and it's just like that was a lot for the first movie if it's the first book too. I don't know, it seemed almost like this is like if this was a series, this would kind of be like the 3rd or 4th film.
The guy
with how much shit happened.
The first guy who tried to make this movie said it was going to be 10 hours long.
Damn.
And they were like, yeah, no. And they like scrapped the whole thing.
Like, we can't do that. Sorry.
Yeah. And then the second guy, David Lynch, he basically cut down like a 5-hour movie to a 2-hour and 10-minute movie. And so it just feels like a mess because there's so much going on. And like, there's no like, it's not linear, like it's just kind of like all over the place. It's a mess, and that makes it unenjoyable because you don't know what the fuck's going on. But I think this movie, like from what it sounds like, the movie did the book justice and like cut out the stuff that like wasn't necessary to keep the plot going, at the same time, while also like because I hear a lot of people complain like, oh, it's just like slow CGI shots and stuff like that, but it's like you got to realize that there's people who have been wanting to see them like show what they see in their head with this book, you know what I mean? And like nobody's been able to. And so like what they were able to pull off with the CGI and like how they filmed it all in like they didn't use green screens for a lot of the desert shots
had to be actually filmed there.
Yeah, so I mean like it's just I think it's amazing what they pulled off, and I loved it. From a filmmaking standpoint, an acting standpoint, just everything about it. I don't have any complaints except that it ends so abruptly like that. But I mean, they made it.
Kind of had to.
The guy who made it wanted the fans to be like, "Where the fuck is part 2?" Like that's what he wanted. Like, would just give us part 2 now? Like like. And I
do
got
like
that feeling.
how they went about ending it though, because it's like if it's leading into a part 2, that was a perfect point to stop.
That's what a lot of people say.
Like, and Zendaya's character turns around, she's like, "This is just the beginning," or whatever, and then bam,
Yeah.
I don't think that gives anything away, but
No, I don't think so.
it's a good movie. It's worth a watch for sure.
But
don't expect like a shit ton of action and all that. I mean, there is action and all that, but like understand that they have to develop the story and you have to know what all's going on, know who's who, what does what.
I want to get into spoiler talk.
Okay, well, yeah.
So
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. If anybody hasn't seen Dune, go watch it. Like,
well, yeah.
But Genie, what do you think?
Skip ahead in the rest of the podcast.
Same thing. It's really like a setup for a part 2, and it made me curious enough to see part 2, and I want to look at it as a whole. But the visuals and stuff like that, I could see like the influence of Blade Runner and how he kind of learned from Blade Runner to go into this. I mean, I still think Blade Runner is superior just because of like the visuals and like a complete package standpoint. But I think about the last line, which is like, "This is only the beginning," and all that. The hardest thing for me, my main gripe with Dune, was the first time Timothée Chalamet opened his mouth, I laughed, and I was like, "Well, he can't be serious right now." And I was like, it was really hard to take him seriously. That was like the first hour was me trying to be like, "Yo, this guy's why do they cast this guy? What is he doing? What is this guy?"
Who is that guy?
The main character.
The main guy.
Paul,
yeah.
Dude, so
yeah,
I've seen a couple movies with him before, and I was like, I don't know about this guy. Like,
know who he was.
He seems like a good actor, but he also just has like this very like shy, like stoner vibe to him almost. Like he always seems like he's like high. Like he's just very spacey looking. And I watched a video on YouTube that it was just a compilation of him, like some of his best acting moments, and holy shit, that guy can act.
Definitely.
That guy can, like, I saw some stuff and I was like, bro, like that guy is in it. Like that guy's like a new like Leonardo DiCaprio, like that level good. Like I really am curious to see what he does, and I'm glad that somebody like that's getting recognition and getting these huge roles. Like, I mean, he's gonna play Willy Wonka now, and I mean, I think he could kill that for sure. But
I think so too.
He's got to fill Johnny Depp's shoes, man. Johnny Depp killed that shit.
But this isn't Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. This is Gene Wilder Willy Wonka or something, I think, from what they said. Like, they're following that storyline. It's like a younger version of him instead of Johnny Depp's version.
Okay.
So not the
like
Tim Burton
adult version.
Yeah, the more like, honestly,
I think Johnny Depp did really good with that role.
I think he did, but the movie definitely like decided to go a certain route. And I mean, it was Tim Burton, right? I just, my opinion,
didn't it just direct copy pretty much of the first one, like the original.
Pretty much, but
they
they added a lot more to like the beginning of it. I think like it definitely. I can't remember exactly, but I remember watching the old one in school and thinking like, wow, this is really cheesy. But then I realized like, oh no, it's a book. Like, and they say that this follows the book like spot on, and so that's impressive. But I definitely feel like the Gene Wilder version is a much more serious movie, whereas this one is meant to be like silly and like, I don't know. It feels more geared towards kids. The Johnny Depp one, you know. And I respect Tim Burton and what he's been able to do, but I just never cared for his style of movie.
I love Tim Burton.
I just never got. I could never get into it.
Love it. It's one of my favorites.
Did he do Edward Scissorhands, or is that somebody else?
Yes, I believe
Johnny
so.
Depp,
actually.
he did
No.
that.
I was at Tim Burton.
Oh,
I believe so.
Who directed that?
Feels like a Tim Burton thing.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
Because if it is, then that's probably the best movie I think he's made.
Yeah. Ironically, they also had Chalamet doing.
Yes, it's Tim Burton.
Yes, it was Tim Burton.
I think that's the best Tim Burton movie.
Did you guys ever see the Super Bowl commercial with Edward Scissorhands? It was like this past year.
Scissorhands.
I didn't see it.
No, it was. They had Timothy Chalamet as Scissorhands.
Oh, I see what they're doing there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because he looks the part. He looks like a young Johnny Depp in a way, if you like do the makeup right, I guess, and like give him the right performance. But I can't see him. For me, like when I was watching him in Dune, I couldn't get the bashful stoner like kind of guy, you know how he is. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I'm the chosen one. I was like, oh fuck, dude, no. No, you're not.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get the hero aspect out of him for sure. He seems more of like a, I don't know.
He grew into it though.
But
yeah, from what people who have read the book said that he did like he's a much better like version of the character than they did in the 80s version. Like in the 80s version,
sure.
They make him like in the 80s version, it's like he carries himself like a hero. Like he almost like expects himself to be like the chosen one. Where with this one, it's almost
he's
like it's almost like he doesn't want to be. Like he just like doesn't. Like,
or he just doesn't grasp the concept of what his
like
legacy
he doesn't
is going
believe
to be.
it. You know? Yeah. Like
yeah.
But okay. So what I wanted to talk about, which is spoiler heavy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The when it all goes down, like when House. So from my understanding, the guys that come in with the swords, right, like the Emperor's like soldiers or whatever,
right?
Those are literally only meant to protect the Emperor. So the fact that the Emperor chose to use them against another house or another family, whatever you want to call them, is like totally against the rules. Like it's fucking like madness, anarchy in this world, right? The fact that they would use those soldiers to attack another house. And then
that's what they're saying. It's going to cause issues if the other houses find out that the Emperor picked a side essentially and wanted to wipe out a whole lineage of people,
dude, and
or whatever you want to call it.
Like, when they show up and just starts like slaughtering everybody and blowing up everything, I was like, holy shit, dude! You're literally watching like a empire fall overnight. You know, like it's fucking wild to me. Like just the feeling. And like they did such a good job of like making everything seem so massive, like how big the ships are. Like you really do feel like this is a real place, and you're like, I mean, so they didn't,
especially when they showed the worm, how massive the worm's mouth was in the beginning. It swallowed up the spice machine.
Yeah, I did not think they were that big. Crazy. Holy shit, bro!
It was insane. Then even at the end too, when he fully comes out of the ground and like looks at Paul. Like that was wild.
When
at that point, I was like, I feel like he had grown into the hero role.
He just knew what he was gonna do, and then he found the voice thing when they took out the guys in the helicopter, for lack of whatever the fuck, knowing the little butterfly.
Have you guys? So
ships?
It's like the Aranthocopters. I can't remember what they're called.
They're cool,
dude.
But don't know what they're called.
The way that I can see how this has influenced so many other stories. Like the voices, like the Force.
Yeah.
The way that the ships and like the way they dress, like you can see how that influenced Star Wars and how it's all militarized and stuff.
Star Wars, 1000%.
Apparently, George R.R. Martin like was obsessed with these books when he really got into writing the Game of Thrones books. So it was like huge inspiration for those, and you can see how like with the houses and all that stuff. And
never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't know how that all works. But
like, dude, I mean, it's crazy how like I can't stand people are like, oh, it's just a ripoff of Star Wars or this and that. And it's like, no, dude, that's like insulting the author because that guy people deserve like to get. This story deserves credit for all that other shit that we watch. Like, because
I don't think most people know that Dune came before Star Wars.
I don't think a lot of people even know what it is, man. I didn't know what it was.
No. Yeah, I didn't know until it all was.
But I want to read the books. I want to read the books.
Same.
Because I am just like totally hooked into this world and how everything works, and like the whole idea that in this universe, it's gotten to the point where guns don't work anymore. Like you can't shoot at people like with normal guns because their little shields are meant to stop anything that moves fast. And dude, like that made sense why they would use swords, and like it slowed down combat because everybody's just trying to like get them into this position where they can like slowly shove a blade into them. Like I'm like, dude, that just holy shit, man.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
The fight scene at the end where Duncan, I think is his name, was taking out all the guards. Man, he went out like a badass. He took out like 12 of them, just like going all out. That was pretty cool. And then like at the end when they were trying to get through the door, he's like, I ain't dead yet, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like goes in at that was so cool.
Yeah. And like I knew nothing about that guy. But just the fact that it was Jason Momoa, and every time him and Paul saw each other, they were like, yo, like, you know, like, I was like, dude, homies. All right, I get who this character is. That's enough to make me care about him. You know, like, I don't want him to die. And so when he died, I was like, that sucks, man. That's like losing my brother.
He was like their main soldier is what I had chopped him up to be. Like, he's like their like lieutenant or whatever you want to call it, you know, sergeant, whatever.
He was like a really good family friend too. And like, so like for Paul, it was like losing an older brother. And I'm just like, dude, that fucking blows.
Yeah, it was sad for sure. I do like how they did the dream sequence. So it's like this whole time the dreams were kind of showing him like what his path may be.
Yeah. And you don't know what's going to happen.
What he's working his way into, but then he completely flips the script by the fight scene because Paul was supposed to get stabbed by that guy, and he ends up like taking him to fucking town. Like he had his angle every time. He could have killed him 3 different times before he actually had to kill him.
I got to change up my headset battery real quick.
Okay.
Sorry. My
some
computer,
technical difficulties.
I swapped the battery out on my headset and my computer just went fucking haywire, bro. I don't know what the hell happened. Like something couldn't compute, but I think I got it fixed. And we were talking about Dune. That's all I know, and how much we liked it. And
I think we might have ended on the fact I was talking about how the dream sequence was and how it led him up to be, you know, like change the whole path. Still in spoiler talk, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Just since we're starting back up, so everybody knows. Just going through the whole dream sequence, he gets to the one point where he's supposed to technically, I guess, die, and the whole story changes, and then it's like, okay, now what? It's like, was that dream sequence to show like, hey, this could be your fate, or you need to overcome this and then keep moving forward with your legacy or whatever.
I think it's
I didn't really know exactly how to interpret it, but I guess you could interpret it in different ways. But
I think it was like
that was really cool.
It was like a if you die, everybody dies type thing, you know?
Yeah. Ooh, that's another way. Yep. That's a really good point too.
And so he was just like, oh fuck, like I had to kill this guy. It's like, oh,
and he had never killed anybody too. That was the thing. That's why he kept hesitating. He's like, do you surrender? And those people's way is like, there is no surrender. It's you die. You know? So
he didn't want to kill him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
But
I thought it was pretty interesting how they did it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like my wife thinks that the chick who's traveling with him,
his mom?
Is that his mom?
Yeah.
From what,
you think it's not his mom?
No, from what people have been saying, Paul is like an orphan, and they take care of him.
Sure.
Because he is like part of the bloodline or something. I could be wrong.
That wasn't his dad that died?
No, that wasn't his dad.
That was his father.
No, that was not his dad. I thought it was too, but apparently it's not. But he was like a father figure. I don't know. The way it
says my father died, though.
He did? Okay, maybe then she's not one of them's not the real parent, from what my understanding is, because they were not married.
Then the dad was like, "You gave me a son, and that's all I ever wanted."
Fuck? Okay, I'm so confused. Then I'm gonna have to look into it more. But from my understanding, it was because everybody I listened to in that review was saying that he looked up to Duncan. Is that the name of the?
That's the like brother figure.
Okay,
Duncan. That's that's Aquaman.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely. There's so much going on in this story. That's the thing.
Right.
But no, he would have to be. Yeah, I'll look. It was
definitely his dad, based off how they talked about it.
But my wife was saying that she thinks that what's her face is gonna like betray him or something. I'm like, I don't know.
The
mom figure, whatever, whoever she is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty compelling.
There's definitely something off about her, dude. Something's off about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's got this like, we don't know like where that voice comes from, like who she is. She could use that voice against him. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I thought the way that the voice, the way it works, is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like how they started like right off the bat showing that, and I was like, what the fuck? That's like the Force? And sure enough, it's kind of what it is. It's like you just that's where the whole like these are not the droids you're looking for type of thing came from for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you like
from
they
that?
used the
Wow. Oh, that's so cool.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's
cool little mechanic.
I feel like it's a lot easier to explain it as like, oh, I just tell them what to do, and because of the Force, they do it. Whereas with the voice, it's like you have to be like in tune with some kind of like, I don't know, it's weird, man. Some kind of like witchcraft shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, they did call her that she was a witch.
Yeah.
You know, by definition, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. But goddamn, I gotta watch it again, man. I've still only seen it once. So much shit has come out. Like the new Dexter started up, which I guess
I gotta get into that too.
Apparently, it's just a one-off season. Like they're just giving it like a formal ending because everybody feels like the way that the show ended with that last season was just like did not. It was like spitting in like the character's face. It just kind of like.
I see.
Yeah, and like I'll tell you right now, I love the way they're doing it. Like I absolutely love it. It's exactly what I wanted.
Last night? Or Sunday?
No, Sunday. I watched the first episode of season 4 of Yellowstone last night, which they came out with 2 episodes. But that show, the 3rd season, ended with this huge, like 3 different cliffhangers. Like all these different characters were like, they look like, you know, like they're about to die, basically. And so it's like who's gonna die and who's not, you know. So that's kind of like what the season started with. And
interesting.
Like the best way I can explain Yellowstone is like it's like the cowboy mafia, dude. Like they're like cowboys, like they you know do the whole cattle thing and like you know they have a range and all that stuff like that. But like the city wants his land, and so like Kevin Costner's like this mafia type cowboy guy who's just like telling everybody what to do and like protecting his land from people who are trying to like build a casino on it and stuff.
Oh jeez,
it's fucking wild, man. It gets crazy. Like some of the shit that happens, I'm just like, dude. Like this is, it's very good, very good. Everything's very well acted. The writing makes it feel like everything that happens is like happening for a reason. Like everything feels like it's for something, you know. Nothing feels like a filler thing. So
well, that's always good.
They're supposed to film the prequel out here. Like they started casting for it. So
nice, hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get that, but I you have to have an agent for something like that, I think. So we'll see.
Right.
But speaking
have
of that,
you guys seen the new Candyman?
No, I have not. I've never seen the old one. I've never seen the old one.
Oh man. Well, watch the old one, then watch the new one. And I thought it was actually pretty good because it's like basically a sequel to the first one.
Okay.
Kind of, in a way.
I heard good things about it actually. So yeah,
it was interesting how they did it. I thought it was pretty good. So
I heard some people say it wasn't
the greatest thing ever.
It wasn't like slasher enough or something.
It was more slasher, I think, than the first one.
Maybe the people I heard it from are just stupid. I don't know.
Have we talked about Don't Breathe before? Are you guys fans of that one?
Yeah. Did you watch the second one's really good too? It's a whole different take.
I didn't see the second one, but
second one's great.
Everybody told me the second one sucked. Like, why did they go that route and like follow the killer?
Suck. I'm so sick of hearing people shit on everything. It's like, dude, it was like they have like these crazy expectations for shit nowadays, and it's like, bro, like it was good in its own regard. Like, I don't know, people get too critical about certain shit. I thought it was good for what it was, and I thought it was interesting the way that they went with it compared to the first one.
Yeah, because I thought the first one was pretty good. I liked the premise. So I think people just thought it was
Detroit too.
Really? Yeah, people.
Yeah.
I think people don't like that they decided to go with like, oh, now the killer's like the guy that you're supposed to care about.
Yes and no. It's like there's still some part of it that's,
but that's
like,
how they advertise it, is like, oh, now you're supposed to like root for this guy, and you're like, they showed how much of a nasty shitbag he was in the first one, so like, why do I want to see this guy like basically the whole time you're like hoping that he'll get away, right? Like get away from these fucking guys or whatever. It's like, why am like, I just don't like, I saw the trailer and what it was and I was like, not really that interested, you know? Like it just didn't.
He kind of ends up almost being like a hero in a way, but still
it's really hard to come back from that last one though, man. I feel like they went so far into like showing how creepy weird this guy was, you know? Like it's really hard to like make me sympathize for him.
That's so true.
He lost his daughter due to, in the first one, he lost his daughter. I guess spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't care.
Dude, he
could have lost his whole family. That doesn't mean you start kidnapping chicks and artifically inseminating them. Like that's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, it was the girl that killed his daughter.
Spoiler alert.
It's pretty fucked up.
There's artificial insemination in this.
Yeah.
That was. I thought that was. There's a weird way of like empathy with that one, but it felt like I didn't need a sequel to that, and so that's why I was like not compelled to see the second one. I
was very surprised to see that there was a second one. So the only gripe I will say is, it is kind of weird. Like you're almost rooting for this guy in a way, but in a better way, you're actually rooting for the little girl in the movie.
Okay, I see that.
Like, because she's like, her situation's fucked, and without the old man, she'd be even more fucked.
Yeah.
She'd be. Yeah. So Dan, you said you hadn't seen it too.
I haven't seen the second one. No.
Seen the second one. Okay, I don't want to get too much away then.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably not gonna watch it anytime soon. I got too much shit to watch.
You should watch it.
If I had to watch that or Candyman, which one do you want me to watch? Because
we'll watch Candyman, but you got to watch the original first, then watch the new one.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not going to it'll make sense, I guess, but like still, it's
All right, we'll see. I want to watch Dune again first. Because, dude, like I literally watched like the first like 5 minutes. And I was like picking up on stuff that like I missed the first time I watched it because I wasn't so focused on like what was going on. Like I could really like pay attention to the dialogue and what they're actually saying, and you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to watch it again just to experience it for a second time, because I feel like upon second viewing I either like the movie more or I like it less, or I respect it for different reasons, you know. So
yeah.
But like what Genie was saying, as far as like comparing it to Blade Runner 2049, I feel like I cared about this story a lot more. Like I care to know what's going on, whereas with Blade Runner it was more of like a mystery. It's like, okay, so like what's going on? Is he special, or you know, like what's the point? And then you know, it kind of gets flipped on its head. But I just felt like there was a lot more going on in this, so the pacing was better. Whereas with Blade Runner, I can see how people are like, this is too slow. Like, I feel like that's justified with Blade Runner. Whereas with this one, if somebody says it's too slow, they just don't care for characterization. Because that's literally all that's happening. Is you're like finding out who the fuck these people are.
Character development.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like the way that they did it, you know, like the way that they did it, it's like, I feel like the second one's just going to be that much better because now you know who everybody is and you have expectations for certain characters, and you know, you want to know more about certain characters.
I wonder if they'll take like an approach where so you said Blade Runner was a little bit slower because they were showing like parts of the world. I wonder if like that slow element of Blade Runner will be what the second one will have, but it won't feel slow because you've gotten the first movie out of the way, and so everything will just be
now it's gonna be pure action and crazy shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be literally like so much shit happening. I mean, I've heard some. They're not really spoilers. It's just like, okay, this is like you gotta understand, like the second half of the book is more about this, and it's like 2 years or something like that between when Paul, from when the movie ended to like when Paul like finally starts to like rise up and like confront the Emperor. There's like a 2-year gap, and so there's so much that you find out in those 2 years about the people who live in the desert, and like about the worms, and
they
about
showed
the prophecy.
That the Emperor was still alive, right?
Yes,
Like the poison breath didn't fully kill him.
He was the only one who had a shield on. If you go back and watch, he was the only one who had a shield on.
I wondered if the shield was going to affect the whole poison aspect.
Yeah, because he like flew up to like the ceiling and put his face in the corner, so like the gas wasn't like messing with him as much, but it still fucked him up pretty good. Dude, that was so crazy too, man. Like the tension and everything. I was just like, dude. Speaking of which, the Emperor himself. I love the way they're portraying him, because like I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy and why is he so menacing?
It's weird,
you know.
Very weird.
I've heard people say that in the 84 version of Dune, like they play him off to be like this dopey, like just fat, ugly dude. Whereas this, it's like, no, like this guy's got like a presence, you know, to himself. Like even when he's like floating around, it's like weird and like scary at the same time.
Of course.
Like
he feels. Yeah, he's like a rated R Star Wars Emperor.
And
like
I love the actor they used. Love the actor they used. I don't know his name, but that guy's a fucking great actor. He played the bad. Yeah.
Skarsgård, one of those guys.
Yeah. Tremendous actor, man. I loved he spoiler alert, have you guys seen the girl with the dragon tattoo?
Yeah.
He was the bad guy in that one, and I thought he played the bad guy really well. I was like, dude, this dude's a creep, you know, like So yeah, nothing but excitement for the second one. I can't wait. I'm so if I really care about a movie, I told my wife, I'm like, we're going to like when the Batman comes out, like we're gonna get a babysitter and go see it like opening night, Thursday night, like first or second showing with the people who are like as hyped about it as I am, because that's just such a different vibe, dude. When everybody is like. Everything that happens, people are like, oh shit, like everybody's like freaking out, you know, they're like, this is crazy. Or people start clapping because somebody's getting their ass beat or something, you know, I love it, dude. So for Dune Part 2 and for the Batman, like I definitely want to go to like a premiere to see it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's so dope.
But
hell yeah.
So I guess I will say this. I'll tell you how it went next week. But I have a mock audition. Okay, so like the class is set up so like it's like a practice audition. It's the last class for Acting 101. It's to basically like practice auditioning. But the people who are watching us for the mock audition are this talent manager, a talent agent, and a casting director. And I know that the talent agent is looking for people. And my acting teacher was saying like, and this talent agent might even want to pick you up. And like when I saw him, like I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's saying. So potentially the first and like biggest audition of my life today is the way I'm treating it.
Wonderful.
Because I could have a talent agent after that. So
this today?
So you gotta do it, man.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
And
okay, I'm so hyped.
my scene is a cop interrogating a drug dealer, and I'm the cop. So,
oh shit! Yeah.
But I'm going. So I first went the route where it was like, okay, like I'm a cop. The way that I picture it, like you're always supposed to like raise the stakes. That's one of those things that like they tell you as an actor is like think of like worst possible scenario to make your character like to make yourself care more, right? And so, like, the way I look at it is like, okay, I think this drug dealer did it. It turns out he didn't do it. But, like, I think this guy killed somebody. And, like, I'm, like, hyping myself up. Like, if I'm wrong about this, like, I'm going to get chewed out. I'm going to have to go, like, sit at a desk. My wife is already, like, pissed off because, like, you know, like, I'm always grumpy and shit. And, like, I feel like a failure. So I really have a lot riding on, like, getting this case right and, like, catching the guy, right? But then, I sent my tape, which I played it on stream, by the way. It was really cool. Everybody was like, oh yeah, it was really good, like this and that. And like,
nice.
I sent my tape for feedback because the teacher wanted us to send a tape beforehand, just to kind of like give us feedback for the actual thing. And he wants me to go the other route. He wants me to like sympathize for the guy and kind of try to gain his trust, which totally changes the whole scene. So like, and it changes the way, like, it goes from, like, being, like, stern and, like, raising my voice to, like, leaning in and being like, did you sell drugs to this guy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just be honest. So like it totally like, and I feel like that's a lot harder to do. It's definitely like I think it's trying to get me to not go for the safer route, you know, as far as like playing this character. So that's what I'm gonna go practice. Is like after this, I'm gonna have my wife read the drug dealer's part. I'm gonna just try and be like, you know, a little more sympathetic and just say everything like I'm not sure. Like I think I know what's going on, but like I know that it'll just go a lot smoother if we just trust each other and like he tells the truth, you know. So like, because I tell the drug dealer what I think happened, you know, and it's kind of like me laying my cards out on the table, like this is what I think happened, so help me, because I like if you didn't do it, like what did happen, like what do you know, like let's help each other. So it's a whole it's just it blows my mind, because when you watch somebody on screen, like in a movie or a television show, you just see the final product, right? You just see how the character does it. But like they do those takes 10, 20, 30, 40 times, and every time they try to do it different, coming at with a different idea, a different take on it. You know, maybe this time I'll try and piss them off. This time I'll try and show them that, you know, like I understand and I feel bad, and you know, I don't want to throw them in jail. You know, stuff like that. So acting's wild, man. And like
seems like it.
The little like shitty backlash I'm getting right now for saying that I'm an actor, which I don't understand. People
are hating on what you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
They'll never do it.
But people don't understand what being an actor really is. And like I don't like there's also a difference between being like a good actor and a bad actor, right? And then there's like the greats. And it's like, I don't know if I'm one of the greats, but I'm going to try. Like, there's no hurt in trying, right? To like be as good at it as I can, like, because I care about it that much. So I'm just going to give it my all. But I definitely feel like those comments are a lot of people taking their self-doubts and kind of like putting them onto somebody who's pursuing something, because it's like,
of course.
Yeah. If I don't think I can do it, you can't do it. You know? And it's like, who the fuck are you to say I can't do something?
They hate where they're at in life, so they're gonna just take their day on you. You never see people who are actually doing good in life ever hating on others. It's always the people that are struggling or like not doing shit with their lives that have the most to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The most negative shit to say.
Somebody said, "You're not an actor, this and that," and I was like, "Dude, like don't doubt yourself. I used to be like that too. Like just like you could do whatever you want to do." You know, everybody's gonna tell you can't do it. Like when I made a TikTok, I haven't posted it yet. I think I'll post it tomorrow. But I was like, these comments really remind me of like my whole life, dude. Like when I was in high school and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna join the military. I don't know if I don't have money for school. I'm not gonna get a scholarship. I don't know what to go to school for. So I'm gonna join the military, try and figure it out. And then when I get out, I got free college. When I started telling people, like, because everybody's like, where are you going to, like, try and go to school? You know, like, what university are you going to go to? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to join the Coast Guard. They're like, what? You're not going to make it through boot camp. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, who are you going to tell me I can't make it through boot camp? Like, just because you don't think you could make it or you think that's going to suck? Like, I'm just going to give up?
Yeah.
Like, there's, what's it called? It's kind of... I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about this type of stuff. We're still on the podcast, but
of course.
Have you guys ever heard of I think it's An Officer and a Gentleman?
No.
So it's this old, I think, Richard Gere movie, and it's like this guy going through boot camp, and he joined the military as like a last resort. Like he was just like getting into trouble, can't hold a job, just shitty life, right? Like he's just like, I got nothing else to do. Might as well just join the military. Maybe I'll get some discipline. And this drill instructor like sees him, right, and just like hates him because he knows he's a piece of shit. And he's just like, I want you to fail. And he like holds him like after everybody else is like done and gone on to something else, and it starts like raining, and like he's out there in the rain making him like do the obstacle course, and he's like, just quit, dude, just quit, you know. And he's like, I got nowhere else to go. You know, like I feel like if you treat things like you got nothing else, Like if I'm gonna be an actor or I'm gonna die, that's very drastic. But having that mentality, like you have no other choice but to make something work. You don't have to be very successful or very good at acting to make decent money.
Right.
But like, you know, how much you push yourself is up to you. So that's the way I look at it.
Exactly.
Is like right now I don't have a choice. You know?
Yep.
Like this is what I want to do. This is the best opportunity I'm ever gonna have to try and pursue it. So I'm gonna fucking go for it, you know?
That's crazy. That's so. Could you send me that scene? That's
yeah, I'll find it for you, dude. And like I did not do it justice, dude. Like Richard Gere is it's just it's exactly like that, man. He's just I got nowhere else to go, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
seems like it'd be a powerful scene for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he won an award for it. I'm pretty sure, but
right.
That's the way I look at it, though, man. It's like all these people are just like, you know, they want you to fail because it almost justifies them like not trying, you know,
or amounting to anything in their lives. Yeah.
Like if they're like, oh, I couldn't do that. And they're like, oh, well, I hope he fails, because then, like, it gives me an excuse to think that I can't do it, because if he couldn't do it, I couldn't do it, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But, I mean, acting is, like, at least until you get, like, famous, you know? Like all of a sudden, they're coming to you with auditions, like, hey, I wrote this movie, and I pictured you as it.
Right.
It's like 90% auditioning, getting rejected, and taking classes and just learning and, you know, trying to get better at the craft. And then 10%,
you gotta start somewhere.
10% is actually doing the acting. Like all you see is the finished product. Nobody sees them getting into the character, studying the role, auditioning for the role, getting the callbacks, all that shit. So much goes into it, you know?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it's one of those things where you have to be like at what point? Okay, if right now you're like, fuck it, I want to be a carpenter. When do you become a carpenter? When you actually build a chair, or is it when you start doing it? Like you commit, like I am a carpenter, I'm gonna go build a chair. Might be a shitty chair, but you're gonna build a chair, and when it's done, you got a chair. Maybe it doesn't hold together well, but it's a chair, and you went and built that. When are you the carpenter though? When you start, or when the chair's done? Because they're acting like you're not like I can't be an actor until I'm in something. Like I have to be in a Marvel movie for them to think I'm an actor.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like, what else would you label yourself as while you're working on it? It's like
an actor in training.
Yeah, like
that sounds fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's like you are an actor. Like that's what you're pursuing. Like that's what you're doing. You know.
And I think that's how you have to carry yourself too. It's like, you know, like I'm a carpenter. I might not be a good carpenter, but that's what I'm working on right now is being a better carpenter. I'm a carpenter. You know.
Yep.
So, I'm an actor. That's what I'll tell people. I'm an actor, man. Like, I'm focusing a lot of my time on that, so that's what I am right now. I'm a content creator too, but...
Yeah.
The most successful people always say, like, whenever they're doing Q&As or something like that, when you really, like, get into the core of the conversation about what made them not stop, when they're like, you know, oh, I came from living in my car... Or like, you know, all those things or all those stories you hear about, you know, how much they suffered to make it in LA. They always said they never had a plan B. There is just no plan B.
Yep.
Because you can't. So that's like,
this has to work is like the mentality they have, you know.
And it will. Yep. It will. Because there's always, especially now, you know what I mean? Like with all the amount of like content generated and entertainment and streaming, but that's another conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's very obvious. It's very present. Entertainment and a job in entertainment is so it's like not that far-fetched anymore.
Yeah. That's like all anybody's doing between YouTube, TikTok, Twitch streaming, YouTube streaming, Facebook streaming. Yeah. I mean, like there's so like entertainment is taking over. Like that's all so many people are doing or trying to do at least. So then you have that whole acting, like the OG shit, you know?
Yeah. I think the issue is
gonna need them.
The issue that I came across was you look at Twitch streamers Like, even look at Vine. Like, that stuff is all temporary. Like, I'm not going to be a TikToker for my entire life. You know what I mean? Like, that, I'm not going to be making TikToks for the rest of my life. I need to find something that I can do for the rest of my life that the pursuit never ends, because, I mean, if you get, okay, if I go work at the court, like, oh, I don't want to say courthouse because my dad works at a courthouse. But like, I didn't want to use his job as an example, but like, okay, if I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to be a bus driver. I'm going to go be a bus driver. I do my 20, 30 years as a bus driver, collect a pension. After you start collecting a pension, you're not a bus driver anymore. What the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
Go sit on your ass and watch TV for the rest of your life? Like, that's gonna slowly lead to like a depression, I feel like, because you don't have a purpose anymore. You know, like, you got to have a purpose. And I felt like if I just stuck with streaming, TikTok, YouTube, that stuff, eventually there's gonna come a time where I don't have that purpose anymore, because like the average career span of a YouTuber, all that stuff, it's everybody says it's about 4 or 5 years. After about 4 or 5 years, all of a sudden you're kind of like above the average career span of somebody who does content creation for a living. But actors,
well, then you also, if you do it all right and you invest and do things right, you're moving on doing other things too.
Right. But the people that don't, you see them kind of like die off.
Yeah,
and it's like,
100%.
Yep. So like, acting is one of those things where I look at it and it's like, I've watched interviews where I mean, literally actors who have won stupid amounts of awards. Like, when people think of acting, they think of those people. You listen to them talk about it and they're like, I'm always learning, always trying to get better. Yeah. It never stops. Like, there's always something that you could do better, or you could do differently, you know. And with streaming, I don't feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's always meant to get to a point where it's like, all right, all I have to do is hit start recording and do my thing. Whereas with acting, it's like, between scenes or between takes, you're like thinking about how you could do it differently and things like that. It's just like very more, it's much more engaging, you know, and challenging. Not that streaming's not challenging, don't get me wrong, but like, this is a good way to put it. When I got to the point where I was like, I looked at my thing and I was like, I have 10,000 viewers right now. I was like, I know I may never have 10,000 viewers again, but I was like, the fact that I even got to a point where I had 10,000 viewers at one point, I was like, this is insane. Like, this is so hard. And it doesn't feel worth it to me. It doesn't feel worth the struggle. Like, it could so much, it could so easily just go away because people move on to somebody else, you know? Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just a different industry, you know? Content creation, all that stuff.
Wow, yeah.
It's definitely tough.
It is very tough. And like, I plan on pursuing that for as long as I can. If it turns out being my whole life, if I'm on like, I don't know, some new version of like YouTube and TikTok put together, mixed with Instagram or some bullshit, some metaverse platform, and I'm like 60 years old still making content, cool. But like, I would much, like, if I had to pick something, I would much rather be like 60 years old and like acting and doing that. Like, I don't know. And like, not only that, dude, like, there's no union for streamers or content creators. Like, there's never like financial safety. And I mean, with acting, like, you could go like years without getting a role, and then you have to like basically live off of the money that you made for the last, you know, couple of years. But like, as long as you keep chasing it, you'll get more roles. Like, you'll always get more roles. You know, the only difference is like you start to get picky. You know, because like once you build up a resume, you don't have to say yes to everything.
Yep.
But listen to me talk about it like I know what I'm doing. I don't. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing, by the way. Like, and I think that's why it's challenging, man. You know, it's like it's uncharted territory, and every time I've pursued something that I had no clue what I was doing and it made me uncomfortable, that's when like consistency and hard work paid off, you know?
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
And like, at the end of the day, I think everybody in some way or another wants to be an artist of some form, whether you're into music, whether you're into drawing, maybe you just want to be a writer, you know, everybody's got something. but not everybody decides to pursue that. You know, I've always heard people say like I've literally heard like family friends be like, yeah, you know what, like I wish I would have done this. Like I wish I would have tried being a painter or some shit, because they're decent at it. It's like only if they put that time in. Imagine what 30,000 hours of practicing painting over a lifetime would do for you as a painter. You know, like be like fucking Picasso.
Yeah,
but
not everybody wants to put in that work.
Gotta find something you care about.
And then also people like have to survive, so you got to work and do what's going to pay the bills as well. So it's like that's a factor too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do, like doing YouTube and stuff. I haven't fully been able to pursue because I've had to pay bills and figure out where I'm going to live and all that good stuff. Once you get older, once 18 hits, man, mom and dad kick you out or whatever. Granted, I'm living with my parents right now. It's a different story. But that was the first time in 10 years. Once you're on your own, it's like, damn. It's like, shit's expensive. So it's like kind of chasing your dreams sometimes has to go on the back burner a little bit because you got to be realistic. But
that's the other thing is like,
put in the time.
I feel very, very fortunate to be in the position I am right now, where I can afford acting classes and I have the time to pursue it. Because I know, like, I saw people. All I did was say that I didn't have time to watch football because I wasn't interested in it, and I'd rather use my free time, which I hardly ever have, to do something else. Yeah. So then they shit on me because they're like, "Oh, well, you're always watching movies and stuff," and it's like, dude, that is like, don't get me wrong.
Researching what I'm doing for my actual career, dude. Like,
the way that you get better at something is partially watching other people who are already good at it do it.
Yep.
And so,
major key.
I mean, it just comes back to like, sorry, dude, I chose a career path where like part of it is I get to watch movies and like I could justify it, like,
well, it's also
I'm not
like,
wasting
God forbid
time.
You have other interests though too. Like,
God forbid I'd rather watch a movie instead of
you.
watching a football game. It's like,
right.
Who cares if it's my job or not? Like, I just would rather watch a movie than watch a football game. Get over it.
Not everybody has to be into sports.
Not everybody has to like what you like. That's what makes everybody different, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Yep. But everybody acted like I walked in through their front door and kicked their dog. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was wild. It was an interesting comment section, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was honest. I was just like, I don't find it enjoyable to watch. Like, to me, it's just kind of boring. Like, I sit there and I'm like, I'm waiting for it to be interesting, and it's just not. Yeah. Not everybody likes video games. Everybody plays different video games. You know, I look at New World and I'm like, it's a lot of time, and I feel like if I'm gonna pick a game to play,
it is a lot of fucking time.
That's not the one I'm gonna choose.
I have been grinding to get to level 60, and it takes fucking ever. I'm over it. I've contemplated like not even really putting in as much time in the game because it's honestly like my issue right now is I've played a lot of like open world games and stuff like WoW and stuff. There's no fucking mounts, and the travel system sucks because you have to build up this. It's called Azoth, and it's like a potion thing, so you can teleport to all these other points in the map. The map is fucking massive, and you don't have any mounts. No fucking horses in like medieval times is kind of what it's set to. Really? So like that has actually drawn me away from playing it as much because I'm like, dude, I don't want to sit here and just run. Even you can put on auto run, but I don't want to sit here and run because I'm out of Azoth and can't fucking get to where I gotta go and grind all these quests. I just don't want to do
it. Nerdy, bro.
It is nerdy. It's 100% nerdy for sure. It's World of Warcraft shit. It's like all that shit, but it's like, man, it's fun.
Okay.
But that shit's just
World of Warcraft shit.
It's like grind, bro.
My type of grind is I think
getting
like
camo skins and fucking
but like
get comic skin.
Like I don't know. It's definitely a different game and a different style and stuff. Like I've just always liked shooters because there's like an instant gratification of getting a kill.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, it's definitely like an addictive thing, but
for sure.
Yeah, I was sitting there last night, like I was like, I should go to bed, and I was like, maybe I'll hop on for a game, complete that challenge I was thinking about. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, God damn it, I'm addicted. I have a problem.
I gotta hop on Fortnite and grind, otherwise I'm not gonna get the Carnage skin.
Bro, now that this game's out, I don't give a. Well, I do care about Fortnite, but I like tough. This is how much I cared. This is how much I cared about Fortnite before Call of Duty came out, and then Call of Duty came out and turned out to be good. And Call of Duty was like that, and Fortnite was like, I'm losing interest, but I still care about it. You know, like it's still there in the back of my mind. But, yeah. But like, I guess one last thing, because I have always had in the back of my mind that filmmaking was something that like I've always wanted to do. Like I was always like, I want to do that. I want to go make movies. I don't know what aspect of it I want to do, but I want to do that. You guys have something like that? I feel like Genie is kind of the same way.
It's film, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever I had a conversation with my friends last night when we're talking about our marketing thing on the side that I do, which is like basically paying my bills and paying my rent. It's always for me been about, we were having these conversations where it was like, wow, we might really like have a money problem where we're going to do so well that it's going to be an issue. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to be making more short films. Like, I don't care if I have less than 20K to my name. I would rather like have 20K to my name than like 6 figures in the bank and not be using it on anything. Like if I had 6 figures, like I know I would put just all of that would go into film and I'd feel nothing bad about it. And he's like, are you serious? Like, what's the point of doing film then? If you, what's the point of doing film if you have that money? I'm like, yeah, it's always been about film. It's never about the money for me. And it's like this instinctual response I had. And it, you know, everyone to each their own. And like, I respect the guy. If money's your thing and that's it, and you can like abandon your art once you have your money straight, then that's fine. But like for me, it's like my art has to be straight first. And then like whatever money comes with that secondary is most important, dude. It's just like,
yeah,
so important to me.
I think having a family for me pushed me that much more.
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
Like I always tell my wife, I'm like, if I didn't have them, like I wonder where I'd be at right now. Because I feel like, you know, I wouldn't push myself as hard because I don't have to only worry about me. Because it's always been like, when it comes to the money, it's not even like, oh, I want to be rich. It's like, I just want to make sure they're taken care of so that when I'm pursuing, they aren't like worried about bills, you know?
Yep.
That's all it is for me. You know? And so I feel like that's the only reason, that's part of the reason why I'm as stressed as I am, because it's like, I have to keep up with the content creation stuff because that's always going to be like my side thing, you know? Like right now, acting, it's weird to say, but acting is like my side thing, but it's what I want to be doing. So, you know, like it's definitely a weird position to be in. That's why it's like I'm always trying to find that next ring on the ladder. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, you're an actor because you did a Facebook play." I was like, "Hey man, it counted as experience. It's just another ring on the ladder, you know." And he didn't say shit, but I'm like, you got to look at the bigger picture, you know.
Yeah.
People will always have something to say. That's for sure. No matter what you're doing,
gotta find some way to put you down, and it amazes me. It amazes me what they'll poke at. You know, somebody said just because Little Man says I'm an actor doesn't mean I'm an actor. I'm like, really? You went that route, huh? You chose to try and bring my kid into it? Like, that's fucked.
Some
people just have no sense of knowing what's right or wrong to, you know.
But I'm like,
to say or what's too much, you know.
There's a saying as an actor though, if that's true, then what else is true, right? So like if you're reading a script and a character makes a decision, you're like, oh well, if he chose that decision, what other decisions might have he made in the past that made him comfortable doing that? And so that's the same way I look. That's the thing. It's like characters, like acting, like when characters and stories are a reflection on society. It's amplified realism, right? But it's like,
that's fascinating. Like, I've never thought of that. Wow.
You're playing, for the most part, you know what I mean? Like you're playing humans, right? And humans do things in a pattern. Like everybody does things for a certain reason. Like like the way that human nature works and how we think and how we react to stuff is a lot simpler than you think. And so like the way I look at it, when somebody leaves a nasty comment like that, I'm just like, damn, they must be really unhappy, dude.
Oh, 100%.
Because they thought about how they wanted to take a jab at me, you know, like they really put some thought into that, even if it was just for that one moment, but there was some kind of passion towards hatred there. And it makes me sad, dude. Like I even commented,
so many
I was
people
like,
who are unhappy with their lives, you know, and I think that's a prominent amount of people that are on social media, unfortunately.
And I mean, I think for me,
they always have something to say.
The first step to getting to where I am now was realizing, like, I gotta stop just being like, oh yeah, someday I'll do this, someday I'll do that. You know, like you gotta change your attitude and your mindset to make yourself care, man. Because you have to raise the stakes yourself. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna tell you, hey, go be an actor. Right. Nobody's gonna do that. You have to push yourself to do that. You know. And I think people just don't have that motivation at all. Like they just go with the flow, do whatever's easiest. Anything that makes them uncomfortable,
not a lot of people
want to
put in the work. Yep. Yeah. That's a huge thing. And people just don't want to put in the work. You know, if it's not something that can just be handed to them, they're like, nope, don't want to do that. And you know, and like, a lot of people think that way.
One thing I've heard a lot in my acting classes, which I think applies to like just life in general, is whatever it is you're trying to pursue, you have to be prepared to fearlessly fail because you will mess up. You will make mistakes. Right. And if you're not prepared to be embarrassed or feel stupid for a minute, you're going to talk yourself into not doing things that could change your life.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So...
yeah, I always wanted to pursue like doing the YouTube stuff. That's like what I've been trying to do. Cause like, honestly, like it's kind of weird. Like it's cause it's already kind of happened. I've always seen myself as doing like what Mr. Beast does. Like if I could help people out in that regard and like change so many lives, like that would mean so much to me. Like that actually makes me genuinely happy if I can make sure like my family's taken care of, all my friends are taken care of, and do like that kind of stuff and have fun creating content like that. That's all I really want to do. You know, I was talking about like next year doing like the traveling, and I really am into like the paranormal side of things and doing investigating and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's like more so I get to travel, which I love to do, but I wanted to make those kind of videos and stuff. So like, that's what I'm trying to aim for. And now that I'm finally getting to the point where I think I'm going to be able to, is like, fuck yeah, but it took me, I'm almost 30 years old. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for people, but as long as you stay consistent with it and don't just give up, I mean,
and like,
fuck, I'm a testament to that, you know?
I know we've discussed, like just talking, about like how if I start to make more, I'm going to start to pay you more as an editor, because I see how much, like, just editing myself, I know how much like time and work it is to do that, man. Like I respect it so much. And like, if it came down to like, and I'm serious when I say this, man, if it came down to like, all right, I could buy a Mustang right now, or I could pay Kyle more so that like, I feel better about the work that I throw at him. Like I've got to throw you a bone, bro, because it's tough, man. I could not, I'm going to tell you right now, that could not be something that I do for a living. Editing is just,
it's kind of funny that I even edit for you, because I'm just like, dude, I hated editing. And then all of a sudden one day I was just in Big E's stream and they're like, hey, you know, I just retweeted my buddy Danny. He's looking for a editor. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to work from home anyway. I was like, I know how to edit. I was like, I really don't want to do it for a living, but fuck it. I need it right now. So let's do it. And I just went for it. And hey, here we are. Now I'm on the fucking podcast, and like, you know, now we hang out. We're friends now. It's like, it's crazy. Like, what?
Whoa,
what you gotta do?
Friends?
Take a leap.
No, I'm just kidding.
Shit. I don't know. Maybe not then.
No, man. I definitely. Yeah. I don't know. I'm weird about stuff. I feel like things happen the way they're supposed to. You know.
Yep. I agree.
And like, I feel like things just kind of like boom, boom happen. And I mean, like, I was definitely like, I didn't want to waste time. I was just like, look, dude, let's just see what you can do. You know, and you're like, yeah, here's what I can do. Yep. Here's what I think I'm worth, this and that. And it was like, boom, boom. It was very professional. I had some people, man, who reached out and they were just like, I don't even want to say, because it's just like, I don't know, man. It was just very unprofessional, and like, like I had one person make a video and I was just like, this is worse than like the editor that I had before. Like I was like, this is not gonna be a good fit. I'm trying to like move in a different, I'm trying to take it a step further.
Yeah, you want it to be professional, or as close to as professional as you can. I'm not saying I'm professional, but like you want it. You want it to be that. I put the work into it like it's my video too. I treat everything like it's like if this is my product, I want it to be to this standard. You know?
I mean, it's gotten to the point where like my acting teacher, I sent in an audition tape, just using my camera and stuff, and he's like, maybe I should ask you for some advice on how to make things look better and sound better. I'm like, okay, that's how I know I'm doing something right with my camera and stuff. Yeah. I don't know a ton,
quality is key,
but I was able to fix that. Like able to get that looking better. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah,
but that was like the number one comments once you switched over and did your 4K setup or whatever. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, the quality!" Like you just know, like, and that's an upgrade. That automatically gets more people focused on your stuff because they're like, "Dang, this dude's taking this shit seriously," and it looks good.
Genie's comment, on the one where I was in Texas, and he was like, "Wow, you were able to even like make that like look good." Because I literally just put a light on in my sister's kitchen. I was like,
kitchen.
Yeah, with like moving boxes next to me, like
Hey, made it work. You had to get it done.
I mean, I brought the stuff to make it look good. Like I did what I had to do. I could have just as easily been like, "All right, guys, sorry, I'm on my phone this time because like."
No, you got to make it happen.
Yeah, dude.
No.
But all right, I think we've gone on for long enough.
Yeah, we're at like 2 hours, I think. So
it always happens, man.
We
just start talking. Well, in a way,
trailing off.
Like I want the viewers, the people who are listening, to understand that like I would consider all three of us pretty busy people. I mean, maybe Kyle plays a little more New World than I would, but I'm just kidding.
But in some time,
the three of us, we could always have something we could be doing work wise. I feel like there's always more to do, and so well,
anything I never stop thinking about.
Yeah, exactly.
In my head, I'm always like, "Oh, dude, I got this, and this, and this." And sometimes my brain just like, "Fuck that! You need to go play New World so you can relax for a minute." Or
sometimes
you
gotta turn your brain off. Sometimes you gotta turn your brain off.
You have to. You cannot be go all the time. It's horrible for you.
And I think
you gotta have balance.
I think I just recently, like, told myself it was okay to like take breaks and stuff. And like my definition of a break is different than I think some content creators. Some content creators are like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a break," and it's like, "I'll see you in a week," like just no content. And I'm just like, "Bruh,
no, I don't need a week.
I can't do that. A day, I do more than a day, and I'm like feeling guilty about not working." Yeah. But this is definitely like the time where we get to like chat, like three friends just sit down and talk. I mean, Genie's definitely a little quieter. I think he's
it's so relaxing.
I think Genie's looking up Cheddar Bay biscuit recipes right now.
Oh, he's ready. He's like, "What am I making?" It's in about that time.
Man, I haven't been to a Red Lobster in a while, actually. But
well, that's where he's going for dinner tonight, folks. That was already made up in his head. He's like, "All right."
Do they like? Do they know you? Like you walk in, like, oh,
they roll out the red carpet.
No, I actually make it a point. Like when somebody like says like recognizes me, I never go there again because I get so like self-conscious.
Like, this guy just comes for the biscuits.
Yeah, or they'll bring out like two biscuits, like baskets instead of one, because they know that like I'm gonna make a thing about it. Like I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Just pretend like you don't know me.
This is that guy.
Yeah, I can't take it. But that's a personal issue I have to get over.
When we do that trip where we go to some haunted place, we definitely have to like go to a Red Lobster and just fuck up the biscuits, bro.
We'll make a whole. We got to make a whole video and just like get a Red Lobster in on it and just have us bring out like fucking tray after tray.
Yeah. They just bring out a giant platter of Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I'd be down to make like a mock strange eaters or like strange addiction thing, like a mockumentary for YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
By the way, when I went,
like a 5 to 10 minute one, something
real quick. I went and saw Eternals. And when me and my wife walked in, and I still had my mask on and everything, like we're just walking, and this guy's like, "Hey, TikTok!" and everybody in the theater's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, like yeah," like all awkward.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I thought that was funny. Yeah, it's crazy,
That's gotta
man.
be cool.
I just assume, like here in like in Albuquerque, whenever I'm out, I just assume somebody might recognize me. So I'm like, all right, I don't look like a slob, right? You know, like.
Oh, that's wild.
I've had like at the gym, I've had somebody come up, and I'm like, it's so awkward because like I'm in my own zone.
Holy hell!
What was that?
God. I caught it, but like, wow, that almost just destroyed everything. Oh my God!
What was that?
This lamp or something just all of a sudden fall?
My ring light, my Elgato ring light, just like fell, like just completely toppled, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" I caught it though.
Your room's haunted. Time to go.
His room's haunted.
Oh my God!
Oh man, that's crazy.
Well,
that's one way to end the podcast.
Yeah. we'll let Genie sit down.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like hold it up and like so it doesn't crash. Oh my God! Okay.
I thought something broke.
Almost did. Almost. But we're
That's
good.
crazy. What the hell? Okay. Good reflexes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
Well.
Anyways,
see that replay. I gotta see what that looked like.
I saw the moment of recognition that something bad was about to happen, and I was like, "Whoa!" I almost jumped up myself. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Did the camera like move at all? Because it was like about to like crash on the monitor, and the monitor would have been done
it
for.
Shook or something a
like,
little bit.
I just saw you go like this. You're like.
That's great. That's great. All right. Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
Good way to end good.
But all right. Until next week.
That's this week's episode.
This is a good episode. Great episode.
All right.
Stream on Spotify.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Still waiting on Apple Podcasts. I don't know what's up, but I might have to shoot somebody an email. All right.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.